Welcome back to the Best Wines Online Tasting Room, and we are doing some serious tasting right here. We're very fortunate to have Patrick Mata with Ole Imports here today, and Patrick brought a wine that it's a wine I've known about for years. I sold it in the past, but the story behind this wine is so incredible and so amazing, and encapsulates to me what Spain is all about as far as delivering value, as far as this country that just somehow consistently pulls these wines out of its butt on a consistent basis. It's remarkable. And actually, I don't know if I should start telling the story or if I should just let you start talking about the amazing story behind Torremoron. Like, what is Torremoron? What's going on here? Speak, man.
This is a very interesting wine. I think it's a wine that, as you say, speaks the language of Spain. It shows the value, the complexity, the terroir that Spain is able to offer for very little money. Very few countries in the world can produce a wine of 100-year-old vines that cost under $20. No, very few countries in the world can do that, and Torremoron is an incredible example of that. This is one of the most expensive appellations in Spain. You have appellations like Rioja, like Priorat, and like Ribera del Duero. They're famous for making the most interesting wines. There are 72 appellations that are incredible, and many of them are unknown that make superior wines, but this area is very famous for making incredible wines. No? You have famous chateaus like Vega Sicilia, Pesquera, Hacienda Monasterio, Pingus, etc., etc. No?
These are wines that sell for $500, $1,000 a bottle.
Correct. Yeah. And this is 100 years old. It's made in a little town, a little village in a very high terrain, almost 3,000 feet elevation. And in this little town, 86 people live, and there are two businesses here. You have a bar where the locals hang out after they work, and the winery where everyone works during the day. And these vineyards are among the oldest vineyards in the appellation of Ribera del Duero.
A quick question. Why do they have so many old vines? Is it their location?
It's a place that, historically speaking, has been making wine for many centuries, and it's an area that is a little bit abandoned. Young people, you don't find many young people there, and this area has old vines because it's a way of life. It's a little bit abandoned, and you find incredible source of grapes there.
Wine geek moment, sorry. So are these the first post-phylloxera plantings?
Some of them are in sandy soil and they're pre-phylloxera. Some of these vines are older than 100 years old. They look like olive trees, that bonsai olive trees.
Right,
that's how these vines look. And some of them are pre-phylloxera, and many of them are 100 years old and to 80. That's kind of the average. So it's a very special place. It's when I go to Spain, it's the place that I go every time I go to Spain. I go here. It's a place that is very authentic. It's a place of a lot of energy. It's very special.
Did they produce a bunch of different wines, or did they just produce?
They produce this wine, and they produce another one which they don't release every year. It's oak age version, but I personally think this is the best wine they make because it's the most pure expression of the Tempranillo variety in a stainless steel fashion. It's a wine that can age. Actually, sometimes this wine can age longer than the oak age version. So I think that this is a very individual, special wine. You can see the color. It's a purple red, lots of ruby red tones, but very profound. The wine, you can see how much meat it has, how much texture. It's kind of wild and profound and interesting, and it's a wine that people who buy wines for 15, 20 will not understand. This is more a wine that appeals to people who like cod roti. There is a bacon, Syrah quality
smoky
going on this wine. People who like wines that cost $50 will love Torremoron. People who look for wines that are $10, $15 may not understand this wine. This is our biggest, and I happily say this, our biggest challenge in Spain or in the US selling Spanish wines is that we offer so much value for the money that our target audience doesn't oftentimes connect with the quality that we offer for the price point because they're used to something different at that level.
Right, the wines are almost too good for the price.
So people who like wines that cost 40 and above, this is their wine because it's produced in that fashion, no? 80 to 100-year-old vines, a wine that is very, very profound, a wine that needs to be decanted, treated like a cold roti from a great vineyard.
Right.
This is how you treat this, no?
How was 2012?
Well, 2012 is an incredible year in Spain, a very good year in Ribera del Duero. It's 30% less production than in other years, which allows for the wines to be more concentrated, more intense, more profound. They communicate more flavor, no, than in 2011 or 2010. The best vintage after 2012, or even considering 2012, is 2009. 2009 is probably a very good year, but 2012 it's incredible because of the 30% less yields, no? So you have more intensity of flavor, more. It's very profound. I'm very happy with 2012. Very happy, very excited. It's a vintage that will make great wines worthy of aging, worth of great complexity of flavors to come.
So did you get that? All right, so you already have, the wine's already just one of the most screaming wine deals in the world to begin with. Then on top of that, you have a vintage where it's down 30%. So the wine's even more intense, more concentrated than is typical.
But balance at the same time.
Balance at the same time.
It's not an
It was a cool year, right?
reality. It's
it was
a cool year.
vintage.
There's
the wine's
elegance.
got great acidity.
There's a lot of elegance, acidity, finesse, but there is an element of profoundness, no, in the wines, no, that is very interesting. A lot of layers. I like extraction to a certain degree. This is healthy, natural, organic extraction, which is beautiful, no? It's
amazing value. If you don't buy this wine, I think what we'll do is we'll set up something where we will find you, and then we will fly the entire population of Torremoron to your house with baseball bats, and whatever happens. So I don't have the entire population of Torremoron come to your house with a baseball bat. Buy this wine, drink it, age it, love it, enjoy it. Patrick, you crushed it.
Thank you.
This is
Thank
awesome.
You so much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.